Yesterday we mentioned already what the Rebbe Maharash says. We said we're going to try and explain it a little bit more. When Hashem created the world, the whole purpose, as we say, is Dira Batachtoinim. He wants to have a dwelling place down here. What does it mean, a dwelling place down here? So we began to explain a little bit of it in the course of the Maimer. Till now, let's try and understand a little bit more. The way that the physical world was able to come into existence is through a tzimtzum. Most importantly, the tzimtzum arishain. What's the tzimtzum arishain? Earlier, the light of Hashem was everywhere, meaning the revelation, the realization of godliness, the awareness, because light is not a physical light, as we've said many times. Light means an awareness, just like a light reveals the source, so also we talk about a light of Hashem, meaning the existence, more than existence, but the awareness of godliness was everywhere. Hashem removed that. That earlier light, which was revealing godliness, Hashem took away. Now there is an empty space, a black hole, so to speak, a place where there's no revelation, where there's no spiritual revelation, where there's no awareness of godliness. Then, through the Kav, as we've mentioned time and again, there's the light that comes and is measured, how much comes into each world, and it goes less and less until finally coming down into the lower world, one where it's totally dark, where there's an existence, and that's it. An existence that doesn't realize and doesn't recognize anything else, anything above it. And it's there that Hashem wants, and it's there that the purpose and the reason for creation is. Comes along the Rebbe Maharash, and he mentions, or it's actually the Rebbe is coming and asking the question. As we said earlier, interesting in these two ices in the Maimer, unlike the first ice where the Rebbe sort of just quoted from each of the Rebbeim, in this ice the Rebbe is quoting from each Rebbe but then adding explanation. So the Rebbe's question in the Maimer now is, how can we say that the whole purpose is only for down here, not for Atzilus, and that there can't be a purpose in Atzilus, because Atzilus, as the Alter Rebbe and the Mittler Rebbe explained, is only Giluyim, is revealing. Atzilus is revelation, which is down, which is going down, and therefore the purpose has to be only for the physical world. And also we went on what the Tzemach Tzedek said, that even the Kalim of Atzilus, which are called Yesh Me'ayin, but it's not a real, it's simply revealing something earlier, so this can't be the purpose. But then why do we say what it's known is that as we do Torah and mitzvahs in this world, we're adding light into the world of Atzilus? What's this light that we're adding into the world of Atzilus? The physical existence that Hashem made in this world. Let's even ask another question. If the whole purpose is for the physical world, why did Hashem make Atzilus? Why did Hashem make Bria? Why did He make Yitzira? What, He couldn't just say, Yesh Me'ayin, let there be a world? Why don't we just take it in the simple sense as we understood when we were kids? Before we got confused with all the deeper concepts, He already said, let there be light, there was light. Why the whole Hishtalshalus? Why the whole chain of events from Atzilus onwards? And the answer, and the reason is, because since Hashem wants us to draw down the light, He wants us to, yes, He put us in a world which doesn't have a realization of light, but He wanted us to also know that there's something deeper, so that there's something spiritual that we can connect to, in order to bring that awareness of godliness to us. Similar to the idea of the neshama and the guf. Why did Hashem have to make a soul and a body? Just make a body. even further, why does Hashem recreate the world every second? If you want there to be a lower world, make a world that doesn't have to be recreated every second. Why do we constantly need to connect to our source? But the answer of that is that Hashem did that in order. Because if He just threw us into the deep end, where we were in a physical existence, without any spiritual light, we would get lost in it. We would have only a physical existence, we wouldn't be able to recognize anything more. So He put us in a situation where there is a spiritual existence, where there is inside, not up there, but inside everything down here, there's the Yitzira concept, which means where there's a little bit of godly light, there's the Bria, and there's Atzilus in everything that we have here. In our bodies, there's a soul. Without it, we can't exist, so that this way we realize that the body isn't the ultimate of everything. We realize that we constantly have to breathe, we constantly have to connect to our source. We even realize when we think about it that Hashem has to recreate us every second. This is the spiritual world that there is. And it's the same thing when Hashem made a physical world down here. So He first made the Eilam Atayu, the world of chaos, where over there there's Eiris, Merubim, and Kelim Watim, there's an intense light which isn't able to be grasped, which isn't able to be entailed or internalized inside its container. Hence, from that light, what is created from those kelim? A world of which doesn't feel its light, because its light is not grasped in it. What's that world? That's the physical world. Physical, evil, shalish klipas atmeis, even avodah zarah, to that extent that it even says, I made myself. An entire existence which feels itself because it doesn't feel its source. When a person goes and does Torah and mitzvahs in this world, every mitzvah a person does in the physical world, he's freeing those sparks, he's freeing that intense light that was there, which is the real source of the world, because he's revealing it, he's connecting to it, he's realizing it, and that light is going up into Atzilus. Because it can't go anywhere else. Over here it's not coming. Over here is a place where the light isn't revealed. Over here is a place where no matter what I do, the world remains the world until Mashiach comes. What's the whole point? Once Mashiach comes, that light becomes revealed in the world. It's revealed the real essence of our physical world, the great light of it, and even deeper than that. But starting from the revelation of that great light. So now the question is, we're adding light into Atzilus, meaning even more than just adding light into Atzilus as a nice concept. We're adding light into Atzilus means everything we're doing in this physical world. Every time we're doing a mitzvah, we're being told that we're creating spiritual energy. Why? What's the point? If it's all for down here, who needs spiritual energy? Who needs Atzilus? And that's why the Rebbe quotes the Rebbe Maharash that no, this light that we're adding into Atzilus is not for Atzilus. Atzilus doesn't need it. Atzilus doesn't even get anything out of it. We're adding light into Atzilus so that in the physical world, when Mashiach comes, it can be revealed. So right now, every action we do already causes a reaction in the spiritual world, one which we can even recognize or learn about or try to connect to, so that we can feel that spiritual sense which enables us to keep above water, to keep above the physical world. But in essence, that's only to help us for the physical reality which is revealing Hashem in this world, bringing Mashiach when it's real. So yes, we have to have a spiritual energy that we get and all that, but that's only there to get us somewhere else. Exactly what the Rebbe Maharash said, as we mentioned yesterday, that the kav all that spiritual energy, kavanas hamshachasa, it's there originally in order that there should be a world. So it's also Shechina, because it's also something which from the very beginning is something which is in order to come down here. That's the explanation. Now we go on and we say that this is what the Rebbe Rashab says. The Rebbe Rashab says, explains what the Alter Rebbe had said, that it's impossible that the purpose of creation is for the higher worlds, because they're only Giluyim, their revelation, there are spiritual energy. Explains the Rebbe Maharash, what's the idea of this? Explains the Rebbe Rashab, what's the idea? Why can't it be this spiritual energy? Because the spiritual energy is Giluyim. Giluyim is separate from Atzmos. Giluyim is separated from the essence. Giluyim is something which is spiritual. Atzmos is the physical reality. So we can't say that the physical, the Atzmos is there in order that there should be Giluyim. That's why the only purpose and the only reality of creation is in order to have a physical world and to transform it. And here the Rebbe adds, this was the Rebbe Rashab, the idea of what the Rebbe Rashab said, which is also connected to where the Rebbe Rashab said earlier, that it's the Gilui, Oir, Shalifnei Tzimtzum. Even the Gilui of Oir from before Tzimtzum, even the source of light from before Tzimtzum, is Giluyim, but it's there for Etzem. Now, the Rebbe quotes from the Frierdiker Rebbe, from what the Frierdiker Rebbe says in the Maimer, that's the idea of Shtus de Kedusha. But the whole purpose is Shtus de Kedusha, meaning take the Shtus of Lumase, transform it into Shtus de Kedusha, which is something which the Rebbe will explain more in the next ice. Shtus de Kedusha means something that makes totally no sense at all. It's like the idea of the Gilui Ha'oir, the source, the Spashtus Ha'oir La'atzmai, like we said, which is in Meshayach Tazulas, which means something which is only the essence of light, which is beyond even having a connection to someone else. It's Shtus. It makes no sense. It's something which goes beyond any Seichel. And that is the reality, because through that we bring down Atzmos, and that's where the Rebbe continues. And this is the Rebbe's explanation, that Dira B'Tachtainim means the Atzmos, the essence is there in the Dira, in the place. The very essence of Hashem is there, similar to what the Rebbe had explained in the beginning of the ice. Shoichin Ad Marim V'Kadosh, it's Begili Lamata. Shoichin Ad is an intense light. Ad is an intense light, like the Rebbe Rashab says, it's Etzem. Ad is an intense light which is the Sovev Klalman. It's beyond the world. But more than anything else, Ad is the very essence which is beyond Giluyim. It's just the essence of Hashem, something which is not even able to be grasped by Tzaddikim and Gan Eden. Tzaddikim and Gan Eden have a grasp of what they can understand. Here we're going to Shtus de Kedusha, beyond understanding, and even deeper than that, the very essence of Hashem that dwells in the dwelling place down here, because that's where He wants to be, and that's why that's where He is. So the ultimate of what we're taking from this is, yes, we have spiritual energy, and yes, we have to feel a spiritual fulfillment and connection with Torah and mitzvahs, but that's not what it's all about. There's something much deeper in Torah and mitzvahs, which is down here in the physical world, where we're just doing what Hashem wants because He wants it. That's Shtus de Kedusha, and that's making a Gilui for Atzmos, where it's not revealing, where it's not any type of spiritual fulfillment, where it's just the Atzmos of Hashem down here. That's why that's where He was in the beginning, down here, and that's where we're bringing Him back through taking the world and realizing what it's all about, which is fully revealed in the coming of Mashiach.